Hello everyone, this is Jordan. Welcome back to the Daily Gold YouTube channel. For those who are new, welcome to the Daily Gold YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This video is being recorded on the evening of Friday, January 31st, 2025. And look, it's the end of the week, but also it's the end of the month, so new monthly charts. And what a week it was. Gold hitting a new all-time high. That pulled up silver. Silver was able to close above weekly resistance at 32. I have some numbers here for the performance for the week and the month. So gold was up over 7% on the month, up 2% on the week. Silver up 10% on the month, 3.5% on the week. So really good week for silver. The miners, GDX was up 15%, if I'm reading this correct, on the month. GDXJ up 13% on the month. SILJ, Silver Juniors lagging, but up 10% on the month. On the week, we had GDX was up just below 3% on the week. GDXJ only 1.6% on the week. So, pretty good month, pretty good week for the precious metals complex. And let's get right to the charts. Okay, so gold and silver daily candle charts here, as per usual. Gold here, silver here. These annotations are the net speculative position. So this data is as of Tuesday. Remember that. So looking at gold, gold was able to close above the 2,800 resistance this week. Did have a gap here. So if there's a correction, it could come down and fill this gap down here. Call it 2755. So today there was selling at the very end of the day. President Trump's press secretary, I think, talked about the tariffs that are coming. So there was some selling because of that. Gold and silver, because of the tariffs, or because of the fear of tariffs, there has been some buying in the market in the last week or two. So Vince Lancy and I talked about that. You will hear that interview when I post it Saturday or Sunday. And that's just a fundamental comment. So support at 2750. This should be strong support in a short-term sense right here, just above 2700. I mentioned last time, even though this looks like a symmetrical triangle, I'm not sure that it really is, because usually you see like a bigger move before the triangle. Like you see this kind of move. But anyway, like let's say I'm wrong about that. Based on this, you still have a measured upside target of about 3,100. And so the cup and handle measured upside target has a different pattern. That projects to 3,000. So we're looking at upside targets of 3,000, even 3,100. So those would be the potential upside targets. Again, short-term support levels. You have this gap here, 27.55, and then call it 27.10, this support right there. Net spec position, yeah, this is getting a little high. So maybe we need to see a little bit of a pullback before this move continues up to those targets. Now, getting to silver, 32.50 is the daily resistance. So it broke out on the weekly chart, which we'll get to next. So close at 32.26. So these are the resistance lines. Okay, this one's at 33. We can see it almost tested 33 today, or may have come within a couple cents. So resistance here at 33. Then this is 32.50. You can see this here, 32.50. A little pullback here, if it goes like this, I mean, that's no problem whatsoever. A little pullback like this, that sets up, I don't want to say this is an inverse head and shoulders, because it's not, but if it goes like this, trades like this, I should say, it's building up more energy for a potential move like that. And you could have a potential measured upside target of 37. So, we'll see if it consolidates for a couple weeks. Again, that could set up potential measured upside target of 37. On the other hand, if we get a little pullback, silver pulls higher sooner than that. Look for this. I think this is right at about 34. That's at 34. That's at 35. So that's resistance. And you got it tested the 200-day successfully twice here. So maybe it fills this gap here in the 31s. That's a potential downside. So I'm just giving out all the levels, short-term downside and potential upside. So that's it for the daily chart. Moving on to the weekly chart. Boy, this is starting to look really nice for gold. I mean, you have some really strong moves here, closing near the highs of the week in 1, 2, 3, 4 in each of the last 4 weeks. and broke above the resistance here, the weekly resistance around 2750. Again, as per the last slide and those potential patterns, you have measured upside targets of 3100 and 3000. So that's where we are now, 28.35. Did trade as high as 28.83 today. Now, let's talk about the weekly and silver. It did close above this resistance here at 32. Not the strongest breakout yet. This did trade up to 33, I think, so it did give back a chunk of the gains on Friday, but still, good weekly candle and still cleared this 32 resistance. So, the weekly chart, based on that, maybe that looks a little better than the daily chart. Here's the weekly line chart. We can see here the clear resistance at 32. So it's moved above that. We'll obviously see maybe silver pulls back below 32 briefly before moving higher. So that's a scenario to think about. And again, now on the upside, I think 34 is the next target. Obviously, you have stiff resistance at 35. So 34 is the next upside target. And let's talk about the monthly charts. Gold here, silver here. Now, with respect to, is gold getting too overbought? One thing to look at, which I did a few months ago, you can look at the RSI, and you can look at how high was the RSI during these really strong moves in the past. Well, we're not looking at the moves in the 70s, but we can look at 2006 here, 2008. Here's another one at 2009. Well, actually, these just mark the breakout, actually, these lines. But we can see here, here's 2006, here's 2008. I put the line here so we can compare. And we're at 77. I don't know what it'll be or if it's updated. So this will update in the next couple days. Maybe it goes a little higher. But in any case, this is still below, this RSI is still below these peaks. Silver monthly. Okay. So 29 is real significant support on the silver monthly. Look at this right here. And we can zoom in here. You look at 29 here. Back last year, look, there was 1, 2, 3 months in a row where it traded below 29, but it closed above 29. And we can see the December close was slightly above 29, and we know that 29 is monthly support. So what happens this month? Boom, big strong recovery, engulfed the last candle. So we like to see that. The other thing about silver, really stiff resistance, this line right here, about 32.5 on a monthly closing basis. Or you could just below 33, maybe even call it 33. Because if you call it 33, look at how many tests of 33 or call it 32.80 there have been. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each of the last 5 months, plus you have this one, 6, which was middle of 24. So in all of these months here, the market is testing 33, even trading above it sometimes, but it has not closed above 33. So this is still stiff resistance on a monthly basis. So would love to see over the next month or two a strong monthly close above 33 for silver. Moving on, let's talk about the stocks. Now, we have GDX here, GDXJ, SILJ. These are the daily candle charts. These red lines are resistance lines. I have not changed from the past few weeks. SILJ, this has been the resistance because the silver juniors have been the weakest performer out of all miners. And they, Thursday, moved up to the close right at the 200-day sell-off today. So that's resistance. GDX and GDXJ have obviously been quite a bit stronger. You can see both of them. Well, GDX closed above 39. I mean, we had these two resistance lines. So GDX Thursday closed above it. Now today it's gone back down. So maybe this gap will get filled. You have good short-term support here, right at about 37. But maybe it doesn't correct that low. GDXJ went above the first support line at 48. Tested 50 or close to 50 on Thursday, sold off. You do have this gap, so this gap will probably fill. And maybe then it consolidates for a little while and then tries to make another push up higher. Just one thing I want to remind you about is the long-term prognosis here. But because of that long-term prognosis, I do want to mention our premium service. If you are not a subscriber and you own juniors, you should consider a subscription. Go to thedailygold.com/premium. You can scroll to the bottom of the page to subscribe. We are covering, and I own and cover the stocks that I think have 5x to 10x potential over the next few years. I mean, there are a few that I own that don't have that much potential, but that's what I am looking for. I am looking for the high quality juniors that have the most upside potential over the next 3 years or so. I am trying to match highest quality and highest potential. That's what I'm mixing and matching. And in our updates, we have these tables, a top 10 company table, a watch list company table. So you can look at these tables. They're on just a couple pages. You can quickly look at these tables, see the company names, what's their market cap, their cash, and then a couple paragraphs of notes. And you can learn all the important things about this company and what its value proposition is. So, and you can also, once you become a subscriber, you can download the company reports file. And so you can read full company reports on my favorite companies. So just a lot of great information. If you're not a subscriber, would love you to check it out. Those of you who are subscribers, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And here's another reason why you should consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber, because gold stocks are setting up for a effing huge breakout in the next year or so. Look at these bases. Now, I'm using daily line charts, so just closing prices. I've shown this before, but I've used bar charts. And, that kind of gets the bars get a little messy here. So look at these lines, these daily line charts. I mean, this is just these are beautiful bases. Look at these. They're building up so much energy to explode higher, sometime this year. And with the exception of GDXJ, I mean, these are almost 5-year bases. GDX, GOEX, the XAU, XGD. This is a Canadian GDX. This is at a 14-year base, people. I mean, you remove the US dollar from the equation, gold stocks are at a 14-year base. GOEX, by the way, this is I think an even better junior index than GDXJ. GOEX is like GDXJ minus some of those stocks that are really mid caps. They're not juniors anymore. So just wanted to add that in. I'm sorry to repeat myself and show this chart multiple times, or show all these charts, I should say, multiple times. But these are really bullish bases. And in the next 6, 9, 12 months, 4 or 5 months, whatever it is, we have the setup here for gold stocks to really go crazy. This is a setup for some big gains to come. And that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed the update. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Would love to hear from you guys. And I hope you had a great week. Hope you have an even better weekend. And again, look at the channel this weekend. Look for my interview with Professor Vinny, the monthly wrap-up. And I'll also have another video on Monday, Macro Mondays. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. Have a great weekend.